sometimes, like, in college, you could get away with trying to press someone if it wasn't on, because,
Yeah,
you could maybe steal the ball back. I wouldn't try and press you, though. I'd probably leave you.
yeah. Yes, sir. I'm your host, Leroy, and welcome back to The Insight. But before we start, could you make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for any new content that will be coming your way very soon. But without further ado, enjoy the pod.
So I just got in contact with kind of one of the agencies that send you to America, and they managed to scramble a couple of offers together in March, April. And Trinity University was kind of a great option for me to do that. So basically, I just went there and loved it.
Who were the agency that helped you out?
I think it was Soccer Scout USA. I don't know if they kind of run
Okay.
anymore, but yeah, it was just kind of a family friend kind of, and then that kind of worked out really well.
Did you get to see the school at all, or was it kind of just search on the Google and just be like, okay, cool, I'm gonna go here, then just traveled?
Yeah, not at all. I literally had a few phone calls. Coach McGinley made it sound really good. It was really good. But yeah, he sold it to me really well. It had, a lot of things that I wanted, like good education, the football program. It was D3, but I didn't really know too much about the differences,
Yeah.
in it all. But yeah, we got to kind of the Elite Eight one year and then last 16 the other year. So yeah, I just went blind. And I think sometimes you've got to do that in life and take that chance. So yeah, it paid off, I guess.
For sure. Then, was it always a 2-year program, or is it a 4-year but you transferred?
Yeah, it was a 4 year program. After my sophomore fall, I did really well that year, and I kind of always had in my mind that I can push myself a little bit further here on the soccer front. So my parents spoke to Coach McGinley there. He was so kind about it. He linked me with Boston College, I think UNC, and then Furman was the other one. And then Doug Ellison at Furman, believed in what McGinley was saying, so he offered me a full ride to go there, and I snapped that up and
Yeah.
went from there. Really, they had to come by. So yeah, that's kind of how I got the move, and then I went to obviously the Southern Conference.
Yeah. How was your experience at Furman on how different was it to Trinity and Furman?
Furman, we did loads of strength and conditioning. That was kind of a Division One thing. The football was way more kind of athletic. Everyone was so fit, strong. Um, Technically, I would say it's pretty similar because I know a lot of technical players at Trinity, and I know a lot of technical players at Furman. The decision making was a little bit higher at Furman too. Kind of the speed of play definitely was a lot faster.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it was similar. It was just a little bit different in many aspects.
Okay. And then when you left Furman and you decided to venture out and go into like pro, did you always know you were gonna go pro, or when did the switch come in your mind that okay, there's a possibility I can go pro now?
Yeah, I was kind of in the middle ground when I was kind of figuring it out. It's actually a funny story. I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I was finishing off my finals for, fall, senior fall, how, everyone graduates, you graduated probably at senior falls for the
Yeah,
draft
yeah.
and stuff. Wasn't really sure what was going on really. I went to Charlotte Independence one week, did quite well there, but I didn't get a phone call back or anything. And then I went to Atlanta United too, but the only reason I got that kind of opportunity was because Danny Kira, one of the firm players who's from Atlanta, knew one of the kind of the staff at Atlanta and got invited down, and he told me that he was going to go down. And I was like, oh wait, you think I could like get down? So I texted coach, and then he managed to get me in there to the ATL2 trial, and
Oh
then that
shit.
had a lot of the best players, in college in the country, a lot of the players that got drafted. So I managed to go there and did really well, and then got offered a contract. Really, it was actually on my way home in the car. Yeah, so It kind of just went,
Serious?
yeah, it went 0 to 100 like that. Yeah, I was kind of in no man's land, and then I got that opportunity, and managed to do okay and get a contract. Yeah.
That's crazy. Did you have many like pro opportunities coming out of college or no?
I had a couple. It was funny. The minute Atlanta offered me that deal, a lot of other teams then started to be like, okay, well, we'll offer you something. I wouldn't really like to say, on some of the
Yeah.
teams, and but yeah, there was quite a few that kind of then jumped on and was like, oh, well, we'll offer you this, and that, and but I didn't get too much interest, to be honest. As you all know, being an international coming out of a conference that isn't that strong, it's tough, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's mad. That's one thing I never like really liked about America because you could have like maybe like an average, not okay, average person at a bigger school, but he'll get more seen than let's say you're probably one of your best players at your school, but you won't get seen as much. It's like crazy.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's literally how it is. It frustrated me a little bit when I saw, players getting drafted really, really high, and you're like, you know, I rate myself over him, but
Yeah,
it just is how it is, in America. I mean, you can't really. A lot of players get caught up in it, but pro teams can't really scout the whole of college soccer. It's just kind of whoever recommends who, and you go from there. So.
no, that's true. So now you've started with Atlanta too. How was your experience there?
It was good. I really enjoyed. I thought it was really important in my first year to play. So I was really happy that I managed to get consistently in the lineups, and play. I think 29, 30 games in my first year. That was great. I
Yeah.
mean, the USL's a fun league to play in. I managed to get a lot of experience from guys besides me. There was Jack Metcalf and a lot of the ATL first team players that dropped down and played
Yeah.
with us. Paul Pogba's brother was playing next to my side a couple of times, and I found that pretty crazy. But yeah, there was Stephen Glass and Henry Apollo, who are the first team coaches now, who were my coaches last year. So
Mm.
they taught me a lot, and I learned so much from them. And that enabled me to be at the level I'm at now, really.
Yeah. So like Atlanta too, is it kind of like a first team under 23s kind of setup?
Exactly. Yeah, it's basically they take a lot of players who are kind of prospects,
Yeah.
and then they see if they can develop them or mature them into first team players or players that can be on the first team squad, impact the first team, and push the club forward. So yeah, it's kind of a feeder ground, basically.
That's good. So how did you then push to the first team then? How was that? I know that's a pretty
Uh,
crazy story.
yeah, it's crazy. I kind of came into the year. Into my second USL year, I was still signing a USL contract, and I came in a little early because I thought that there was a chance that they'd invite me to preseason, because the previous year, in my first year, when they were doing the MLS Cup playoff run, I was, I think the only USL player that was training with the first team, and I was just with them for the end of the year,
Oh,
just to
nice.
help them prepare for the games. So I thought there was maybe a chance that at the start of the next year I might be going to Florida with them and Mexico with them. So I came in early and trained with some of the first team guys in like preseason doing fitness and stuff. So basically from there, I got called into the office when everyone kind of returned, and they said, "Hey, you're going to be with the first team, for numbers. They need you to, work with them and that." So I was like, "Yeah, that's perfect." So I managed to, play in front of Frank de Boer and Bob de Klerk and Orlando, and kind of impress them. And then I kept managing to just like stay attached and get brought on to IMG Florida, go to Mexico with the team. And it ended up being March, and I'd been with the team for like 2 months, 3 months, and I hadn't been with the USL team really much,
Oh,
which
damn.
was my team. So it was really strange. I was with the team that I wasn't technically on, and then my team was kind of playing games and stuff out. So I was kind of in the middle ground.
Yeah.
And then Franco Escobar got hurt in one of the games at Nashville, and they put me on the bench for that game and signed me to a short-term deal. He got hurt, and then they needed me to come on and play. And he kind of trusted me just to throw me on. They could have made a few changes, but I don't know. They just believed in me. I tried really hard and trained well. They just brought me on at Nashville, and then you know everything just changed real quick.
That's so mad.
Yeah, it's
Damn.
crazy.
How was it transitioning from playing with the USL team to the first team? Was there any major changes, or was it like easy for you?
Oh no, it was really tough. Kind of my first year when I trained with them, I found the speed of play really, really difficult to adapt to. Um, Sometimes, like in college, you could get away with trying to press someone if it wasn't on, because
Yeah,
you could maybe steal the ball back. I wouldn't try and press you though. I'd probably leave you.
yeah.
But you can get away with like trying to press things that aren't really on. But
Yeah.
in the USL, you might get the ball knocked past you, and you're exposed. In the
Yeah.
first team, if you try and press Barco and it's not on, and you have no support, it'll make you look stupid.
Damn.
So like with Pitti and Joseph and all them players, and especially the players, some of the guys last year that were on the team, it would just kind of made you think more in a team mindset, and I've just got to stay in my position and do my job here. I can't
Yeah.
affect everything. And I kind of, once I understood that and kind of understood kind of the movements of certain guys and how guys like to play, then it became a little bit easier. But at first, to be honest, I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna get to this speed of play because everyone was just flying everywhere.
Damn.
But now it's just normal, kind of once you keep doing something, it becomes a little bit easier.
Yeah, for sure. How good is Joseph Martinez? Because obviously I used to see a lot of times he would score. And were you were training around the same time when Almiron was there, right?
I was there the year after him,
Yeah,
so
after
I've
him.
missed him.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
heard
How?
many amazing things about him, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone said that. A lot of the players say that when the team was in a difficult situation, he was literally the perfect player that they could just give him the ball and he could just get the team out of pressure, just get the ball and dribble away, break lines and
Yeah.
drive into spaces and win fouls and stuff. He was just carrying the team at sometimes, with his ability. Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone has high praise for him.
Damn, how good of a goal scorer was Joseph Martinez then?
Yeah, amazing. I mean, in training, if the ball comes to him in the box, then you may as well just walk home because he's going to put it in. Like he's very good, and kind of his mentality too helps push the team on. He's very kind of as a holds himself to a very high standard and everyone around him. So that kind of has a roll on effect with the team. He's fantastic on the field and his ability is great, but I feel like that mental aspect goes a long way too with a lot of the players. If he's there and he wants the ball and he wants it played to him at a high quality, and he wants players moving and he wants everything ticking at its highest rate. So that's kind of one big factor that a lot of people don't really even think about. The week after I made my home debut at
Yeah,
Mercedes-Benz Stadium in front of 70,000, and I started
mad.
that game against Cincinnati,
Yeah.
and that was a day I never forget either.